shrink wrap stock. He's going through it like crazy. So I finally rewired this whole power transformer. There were 6 wires that came out of here. 2 were for the AC, wall outlet. These 2, this one actually is for the speaker to plug into. It's basically just a 120 volt extension. This one is another socket that the switch, the on-off switch, basically the remote on-off switch for the radio plugs into. So kind of an interesting way to allow disconnections in the old days. 1929 this radio's from. So they did that. So anyway, I bought some of this, antique looking but new cloth covered wire. And just for fun, this is what it used to look like. Let me give you a little tour here. So this one with all of the tape on it that goes to that wad, that was the main wall outlet power cord. And you can see even on this picture how it's been chewed up here and chewed up here. So I cut this off here, and that's where I tapped into it for the new line. This one, it's got the plug in it still. You can kind of see it's got a solid cord. Anyway, that cord goes up here. You can't see the top of it, but this is goes to the switch, the on-off switch. So the black wires, if you will, run to that. And then this little bit longer one that snakes around here, this was all chewed up too in several places. So that got shortened. That's what the speaker amplifier, the speaker transformer plugs into. So all of that turns into this. So this is the on-off switch, and this is for the speaker. Yeah, a little bit longer. You can still see that was actually one of the ones that had the best wire, and it got this far before I had to really cut it. Actually, there's one nibble up higher, but I didn't want all the connections to be, in one spot all on top of each other. So I tried to make them different lengths, because there's really 6 wires in here, so there's 2 for the AC and 2 for the speaker wire and 2 for the switch. So I wanted to kind of offset them. So I just shrink wrapped the damaged first junction, and then tapped in here and turned it into the line cord. I bought a whole bunch of this cloth covered, it's 18 gauge 2-wire. So anyway, it looks authentic, and I put on a polarized plug, and I shrink wrapped that, of course. Heck. But anyway, that looks nice, and it's polarized. One blade's bigger than the other. So hopefully the outside cases on this radio is actually energized. So, positive and negative. Well, this could be positive or negative depending upon how you plugged in the old unpolarized plug. I'm hoping that, I'm going to check underneath here, that the hotline is now. But anyway, this is not something you're supposed to be touching when the radio is on. So anyway, so I am done for the day. That took about 2 hours of putting it together. I had it all, bare wires on all the ends of all this stuff, but putting it together, shrink wrapping it, I used lineman splice, also called the Western Union splice, where you basically hook the 2 wires together, that make an L on both ends, and then you wrap one end around this way, and then you run the other tail off around that way, and then you solder it. That was the best, strongest joint that I could find. Better than those, butt connector plastic things and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's what I did today. It's kind of cool. These old sockets. 1929. So I'm almost ready to, basically put it back together. I put new capacitors in the radio. I took this apart enough when I was doing the pre-wiring run through that there's no electrical components that I could find in there that need replacing. So, but this is the big question. If this doesn't work, nothing else is going to work. So stay tuned on the 1929 radio restoration.